Indonesia's acquisition of the Rafale multirole fighter jet from Dassault Aviation is one of the most comprehensive and strategically significant defense procurement programs in Southeast Asia in recent years. It represents not only a major upgrade in the combat capabilities of the Tentara Nasional Indonesia Angkatan Udara (TNIO), the Indonesian Air Force, but also a shift in Indonesia's long-term defense posture, its industrial cooperation strategy, and its international defense partnerships. The decision to acquire the Rafale was the result of several years of evaluation, negotiation, and phased agreement execution. In February 2022, Indonesia and France signed a long-term defense agreement which included an order for 42 Rafale fighter jets. The procurement was structured in multiple stages. The first contract, covering 6 aircraft, was activated in September 2022. A second tranche of 18 aircraft followed in August 2023, and a final tranche of 18 was confirmed in January 2024. This structure allowed Indonesia to spread out payments, training, and production scheduling while gradually integrating the aircraft into its force structure. By August 2025, the program had entered its manufacturing and delivery preparation phase. On the 30th of July 2025, the first Rafale B, the 2-seat version used for both training and combat, destined for Indonesia, was publicly identified at Dassault Aviation's Bordeaux Marignac facility. This aircraft bore the serial number T0-301, marking the first visible and tangible proof of progress under the deal. This Rafale is part of the first production batch of 6 aircraft scheduled to be delivered in early 2026. Dassault and Indonesian officials have confirmed that all 6 aircraft from this first batch are now either in assembly or flight testing stages. Delivery planning has been clearly communicated. The first 3 Rafales are expected to arrive in Indonesia between February and March 2026. The second group of 3 is planned for delivery approximately 3 months later. The receiving base will be Roesmin Nurjadin Air Base in Pekanbaru, Riau Province. This base has been inspected and assessed by French defense personnel and has undergone significant infrastructure upgrades to accommodate the operational requirements of the Rafale. These upgrades include reinforced runways, hardened shelters, data communication systems, and hangar facilities designed for 4.5-generation fighter maintenance. Indonesian Air Force leadership, including Air Chief Marshal Muhammad Tony Harjono, has confirmed that pilot training and support crew training have already begun. Selected pilots and technicians have been sent to France for instruction under official Dassault training programs, and more personnel are expected to follow as deliveries begin. Indonesia is preparing not only to receive the aircraft but also to maintain and operate them independently, with French contractors providing support during the early phase of operations. The Rafales Indonesia is receiving are believed to be based on the F4 standard, the most modern and capable version currently in production. The F4 standard incorporates improved network-centric warfare capabilities, advanced AESA radar performance, enhanced electronic warfare systems, new weapon integrations such as the upgraded Meteor Beyond Visual Range air-to-air missile and AASM precision-guided bombs, and better data processing and mission management systems. These capabilities will place Indonesia's Air Force on par with some of the world's most advanced air combat forces, and will give it flexibility in air superiority, deep strike, maritime strike, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance roles. Beyond the aircraft, the Rafale program includes training simulators, ground support equipment, spare parts, weapons integration, and long-term logistical support. Dassault Aviation and its industry partners will provide ongoing maintenance packages and software updates, while Indonesia will eventually localize certain aspects of support and sustainment to reduce dependency and enhance autonomy. Importantly, Indonesia and France are also discussing an expansion of the current Rafale order. During President Emmanuel Macron's state visit to Jakarta on 28 May 2025, both governments signed a defense cooperation letter of intent that includes the potential for additional Rafale acquisitions. Sources familiar with the matter report that Indonesia is evaluating the option to acquire between 12 and 24 additional units, which, if confirmed, could increase the total fleet to 54 or 66 Rafales. As of now, this expansion remains in the planning and assessment phase, with no additional contract signed yet. However, defense analysts consider this likely, given Indonesia's long-term Air Force modernization goals and the country's current lack of newer generation aircraft in sufficient numbers. The Rafale deal is also significant because it shifts Indonesia's procurement direction more firmly toward Western defense manufacturers. Previously, the Indonesian Air Force had operated a mix of Western and Russian aircraft, including the F-16, Su-27, and Su-30. The Rafale program represents a comprehensive platform that offers not only aircraft, but also ecosystem development, advanced data integration, and interoperability with international air forces. This makes it easier for Indonesia to participate in joint exercises, patrols, and multinational missions where Western platforms and standards are used. As of early August 2025, none of the Rafales have yet arrived in Indonesia, but the project is on schedule, and the first deliveries are less than 6 months away. Indonesia's Defense Ministry has continued to monitor production and coordinate closely with Dassault, the French Ministry of Armed Forces, and other related suppliers to ensure that the program proceeds smoothly. The initial delivery in 2026 will mark the beginning of a new era for the Indonesian Air Force, which will now operate one of the most capable non-stealth fighter aircraft available on the global market. Indonesia's Rafale procurement is also expected to have long-term effects on the country's defense industry. The partnership with Dassault opens the door for future industrial cooperation, knowledge transfer, and technical collaboration in aerospace systems. While the current Rafale production is being carried out entirely in France, future contracts or expansions may include provisions for local assembly, maintenance, or parts production in Indonesia, similar to offset agreements seen in other major defense programs. Indonesia's Rafale program is a foundational part of its defense modernization strategy. All 42 aircraft are under contract, the first jet is already completed and undergoing final preparations, and deliveries are set to begin in early 2026. Infrastructure, pilot training, base upgrades, and logistics are all advancing in parallel. Discussions about additional units are underway, and the Rafale will play a central role in defining Indonesia's air combat capability for decades. The procurement is proceeding on time, with no reported delays, and is being carefully managed by both the Indonesian and French defense establishments to ensure long-term success.